You're 53 with $1.6 million wondering if you have enough to retire today. And what I'm going to show you today is based off of this person. If you find that you're close, but not exactly there, you might go, wow, I just need to make one tweak and I'm closer than I thought. You might even find you're further than you thought, but you'll finally have clarity. Let's take a look. So if you look at my screen here, you can see their investments total 1.73 million. I know I said 1.6, so you can see you guys already lied there, but trust me, I promise we're going to get to some fun stuff today. I was just mentioning their 401k. They have a small portion in Roth, but relatively large for Roth. By no means did they do a poor job. So you can see here, they own their home worth 1.1 with a $210,000 mortgage. So 52 and 49, they've done a great job. They are some early retirees here. They're excited. They're not early retirees yet, but they are excited to be. And when we spoke, I need you to imagine that we had a long conversation about their goals and what mattered most. And they said, look, we don't hate our jobs, but if we knew we didn't have to keep working, we wouldn't keep working. And normally I'll ask the question, hey, if you didn't have to keep working, like, would you literally stop tomorrow? And some people will say, no, I've got a project, or I'm not ready to leave my team yet. Other people will go, yesterday. This was more of the yesterday. They were just nice people saying, well, I don't know exactly. I go, well, what if you were not allowed to return to work tomorrow? And they said, oh, I wouldn't bother me. I go, well, you responded pretty quick right there. So that told me what I needed to know. So now you can see John is 3 years older than Jane. He wants to retire at 60. That was the initial plan. Jane wanted to retire at 55. They want to spend $10,000 a month in retirement, so $120,000 a year. That is after taxes adjusted for inflation, and another 25 year on vacations, and then buy new cars. So what they're not including here are things like long-term care, or helping a niece or nephew with college, or weddings for friends, or downsizing. They can add all that in later, but this is what we're working with. Now I'm going to show you exactly what they're on track for, how much they can spend, and what I might recommend they tweak a little bit based off of what they've done so far. But if you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Ari. I am a certified financial planner, which is not why you should listen to me. I say that I make lots of content around tax strategy and estate planning and healthcare because I love it, because it's true. But that's not why I hope you listen to me, because I took my CFP course and credential at some big fancy school where you can learn how to be a CFP, and I would not let many of those CFPs manage my money. In the same way, there's probably many doctors who you don't want to touch your body or operate on you. Well, that's the same in our field. So I hope you just resonate with the way I communicate. And let me finish that by saying, I love doctors. Okay, I play soccer all the time. I had a hip surgery, and if the doctor did not exist, I would not be confident that I would be in the position I am now. So internally grateful, but just being transparent here. It's all about making sure you find the right fit for you. So if you find my style doesn't fully resonate, there's so many other YouTubers out there. Check out Aaron Talks Money. Check out Ben Felix, and those are different styles that might just resonate more with you. So let's have some fun here. So if we go back in here, how much are they making today? John makes $210,000. John's flexing on us with his big income. Jane, she's making $78,000 a year, and they want to know, are they in a good spot? Just put it quite simply. So here's what it looks like. And by the way, you guys can all use the same tool I'm showing you today. It's in the description below. So if you go ahead and look at their plan, this is what it looks like today. Now, I invited them to dream big in our first call. I'm like, guys, how much would you spend? They're like, if we had 100,000 a year, that would be awesome. And then we dreamt bigger and bigger. And they're like, wow, if we had 120,000 a year, plus we now were able to go vacation more, and they want to fly first class and do fun stuff. Great. This is what their plan looks like. So here we are. They have $1.7 million today. If they do truly work till 60, they'd have $2.5 million. And it looks like we'd have about $1 million if they passed away at 93. So the first thing to look at here that I'd recommend for them is, well, we didn't even put a healthcare estimate. And if they retire early, they're going to have to pay for healthcare. Now, I have clients that are spending legitimately a few $100 a month with great coverage. And I also have clients that are spending, I'm literally saying $10,000 a year each on healthcare. So we need to make sure we're looking at this. The big thing that's already worrying me regarding their plan and optimizing is, what's the issue here? Guys, can you see it? There's not a brokerage account. That's what I call a superhero account. And why do I talk about that? When you have a brokerage account and you have gains, you pay capital gains taxes. That's way lower than ordinary income taxes. So when you pull money out of a 401k, you're paying taxes as if you just made more money. So a reminder, 401k, you put money in, you get a deduction, saves you taxes that year, grows tax deferred, don't pay taxes, take the money out, pay taxes. With a brokerage account, you can put $100,000 into that, grow to 120. The 100,000 that you put in, that's tax free because it was already your money. It's already been taxed. 20,000 more dollars, that is what's getting taxed at capital gains rates, which is lower. And if your income is low because you're massaging how you pull income, which is what we specialize in, well, now you're qualifying for healthcare subsidies. Now you're able to do more Roth conversions or fun stuff. This couple doesn't have a ton of flexibility. So they have a lot in their 401k, but I might go to them and say, guys, I know you have a lot in there. You might want to consider not maxing out anymore. They're like, what do you mean? My identity is maxing out my 401k. But there becomes a point when you have so much in your 401k that pretend you want to retire. Let's just take this example at 53. Guys, they would have to pay crazy taxes and penalties because they can't use the rule of 55 yet to access this money. And that's right. I just said rule of 55. Many people don't even know that if you do retire in the year you turn 55 or later, you can actually start pulling from your 401k. You don't have to wait until 59 and a half. You still pay taxes, but you don't pay the penalty. So pro tip right there. If you want to see more on that, I have other videos. Just search Ari Taublieb, Rule of 55 in Google or YouTube. It will come up. So getting back to the main video here, they're missing some things on healthcare. They're missing some things on brokerage accounts. They've still done a good job. But if we go put an estimate of healthcare from when they retire until Medicare of $15,000 a year, I'm just being nice, okay? Well, that does impact their plan in a significant way. There's $425,000 fewer dollars. So some of you are like, this plan looks pretty bleak. Why are you showing me this? Well, the reason I'm showing you this is if they were to say, you know what, we want to spend exactly what we told you, $10,000 a month, vacations, new cars, and work till 60, I go, look, guys, you'd be cutting it pretty close. And although this graph is declining, my bigger concern is your withdrawal rate, meaning how much you're taking from the portfolio. Because if you're taking 8%, 9%, 7, 8, 9%, that's too much. It's too high if you want to confidently retire. So they have a first option is they could just work till 65. What do you guys think they would say if I offered that recommendation? I go, guys, look at this. I found a solution. You can work till 65. They're going to be like, hey, have you heard nothing I've ever told you? I told you yesterday I would retire if I could. So I said, great, let me show you that. And they're like, well, that's not going to look good if I retire tomorrow because it looked like I was barely on track retiring at 60. I said, you're right. You would run out of money at 62. And they're like, well, why are you telling me this? Are you just being mean for the sake of it? I go, well, you have something big in your control, which is how much you want to spend. And it's going to surprise you. They're like, okay. I said, well, we were dreaming big here. $10,000 a month plus vacations, new cars. What if I said you could retire today and spend $5,000 a month? They're like, well, I don't know if that would have us live our dream retirement. I said, I'm not saying it would, but let's just see what it says. And here's what it showed them. So if you're looking at my screen here, they are the green, okay? So if they were to spend $5,000 a month in retirement, that's $60,000 a year plus $25,000 a year for vacations the first 10 years. That's $85,000 a year after taxes, adjusted for inflation. They could theoretically retire today. So here they are, 1.7 million. You can see there, I'm just following along the line here. Assets end at about 1.4 million. Now, I'm not saying they have my green light to retire. Why? Well, what if markets don't do well? If markets don't do well, all of a sudden, that changes the plan in a big way. Where now, we're getting right to the end. What if they're like, wow, markets did really well, and you want the most aggressive mix possible, which is not what I'm saying they should do, but just hypothetical here. Okay, well, now they're in an even better spot. So why am I showing it to you like this? Because I'm making it look like a weird ocean here where it's like the tide going in and out. What I hope you're all seeing is you have options. Some of you should take away from this, wow, $120,000 a year plus vacation, $25,000, that's $145,000 a year. I mean, that would be cool, but I don't need that. I would rather stop working today. That's more important to me. Other people that are watching this are like, $145,000. I'm not even living a good retirement off of that. Some of you are like, is that true? You have people that say that? I do. I have people that spend $25,000 a month, and I have clients that spend $3,000 a month legitimately. And sometimes those clients are equally happy. In fact, sometimes these clients are even happier because it just depends on what you want your life in retirement to look like. So that's the takeaway. The takeaway is if you have 1.6 million, 1.7, and you want to retire early, it is possible. It comes down to how much do you want to spend? How are you invested? What is your tax strategy? How much do you want to leave behind? Do you have legacy goals? What about healthcare? And that's everything we love helping clients with. So hopefully this video did shed some light. Obviously, if you can't tell, I love what I get to do, which is make videos on all these topics. If today was helpful, or if you learned something, if you had some takeaway, please like it. Please comment below what you learned. And then finally, if you want to work with us, you can go to our website, rootfinancial.com. In the upper right, click see if you're a fit, answer a few questions, and then we'll talk from there. Thanks, guys. See you next time.